Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Let's get started. All right, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. I'm feeling a little bit silly. This is my last reading of the night. So, I am having a little fun with it. All right. And so, I guess I don't have the card over here. Forgot to put it out. We have the Ace of Swords, and there's our little Leo medallion right here in there. So the Ace of Swords, all about breaking through, success, new ideas, clarity, mental clarity especially. And I'm just kind of looking, it really looks like you're just kind of really climbing up those mountain peaks. And I see the mountain peaks, the fighting your way up there. I see a person holding some kind of sword or baton or something. And this person has their hands raised up. It almost looks like the same person. Like they have this same weapon right here. And so I feel like this has so much to do, and I want to really, because even this one looks like a person riding some kind of huge beast into battle. I don't think that this is about conflict. I just want to say right out the gate, I don't think this is conflict. I think that this is all about this kind of theme that has been running through some of the readings lately. And I know last week we talked about it too, is that this is a really productive time. And you have been kind of battling yourself to stay kind of motivated within those work spheres, the creating spheres, staying, just really fighting the impulse to kind of get distracted by a million other things going on. And, I know it's almost Leo season. I know these, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, these summer months are really, you're so alive and, so drawn to probably being out of doors and in the sun and being active and doing the things that are kind of like make you feel good, right? Well, everything within moderation. And so I think that this has been kind of the thing, is that you are just really working your butt off to get whatever it is off the ground, right? Get that business going, start making maybe a different move within your career, moving up, moving into a new position, whatever it is. But I really think that you are slaying it right now. And things are, gaining momentum. You're starting to kind of envision a future that maybe you haven't really let yourself kind of think about before. When we when we don't know that our potential is so open and wide, of course, it's hard to let yourself dream too much about things that seem really out of your reach. But the reality is, once you start getting something moving, going, it's like, you're meeting these manageable goals, which I'm all about that. That's my life, is about manageable goals. Of course, I have larger dreams, but I like being able to reach the things that I want to get to. So, it's incremental. And, but once you start getting it going, right, you hit those markers quicker and quicker and quicker. And, that feels good. And you do start dreaming larger. You might, worry a little bit. Is this gonna fizzle out? But I think that, for a Leo to stay productive, to continue doing what keeps you impassioned, keeps you interested, keeps you moving. So much about movement with a fire sign like Leo. There's not a lot of room to be too stagnant for too long. That can get really dark, right? Like when the flame goes down, it really goes into places of deep melancholy. And it can be hard to kind of, stoke those fires again and get them burning brighter and brighter and more fiercely. But I think that, right now, definitely, you just are full of that thing, that lifeblood, that just thirst, thirst for more, for better. And the thing about a time like this is that when I see this one, it looks like a ram kind of rearing up there, taking kind of a real offensive, posture. I think that this is a perfect time, and the ram being, just a very lucky and auspicious sign, but also bountiful. They're thick. These are big animals, robust. Okay, so that's a sign of good health, of good fortune, success. And so when we see a sign like this and we have this kind of energy going, aligned together, perfect. And perfect time to start manifesting your will. Okay, taking the steps to not only identify what is your will, what is this will in this time period, what do you truly need, what do you truly want, but ultimately, what is your true will, right, beneath all of that. And that's something that can take a long time to really uncover. That is a lot of, these are the kinds of things we go to, psychotherapy for. We do, all these different systems. There's so many of them to kind of uncover what is it that motivates you as an individual, you as a person, and you as a member of a collective, right? What really is the thing that keeps you going, and digging through the many layers, because there's so much conditioning that happens in our lifetime. We are enamored by propaganda, what we learn in our environments when we're young, the collective will of the tribe, right, so to speak. And all of these things kind of influence these layers of more superficial concepts of what do we want, what do we need in life, right? But kind of digging through that stuff, really being very honest with yourself, being brave, facing those shadows, the so-called darknesses in our personalities, in our being, in our psyche, and getting through that stuff, processing that stuff, integrating that stuff, and figuring out where does the true substance lie within us, and are you going to deny that? Are you going to banish that from yourself, or are you going to embrace it and make it work for you in some way? And that's hard work. That's work of a lifetime. I mean, and I talk about young a lot on here, I know, but even brilliant minds like Carl Jung, or, a lot of other mystics, these people did not come to any kind of real deep breakthrough. They were quite old, by most standards, and in any kind of mystery tradition, or a lot of religious orders, even the individuation process, there's not exactly a set age, but kind of really doesn't happen until you're pretty well into your middle age. And, I think that happens because, you've survived ordeals. You've gone through these different activations of archetypes and situational things that have to do with our age and our body functions, and, the roles that we play in our societies and communities and our families, and, all these things. It's not something that happens overnight, and if it does, tell me how you did it, because, we're all looking for a shortcut through some of this work, but, from what I understand, for it to be lasting and, of real value, it is something that moves along slowly, and we have to work at it every single day. And so I think that, while you are looking to begin to manifest things in your life, which this is a good time, it's a quite opportune time, I would say, there should also be this work happening where you're really looking into yourself, really identifying what do you really need, truly. Because you don't want to squander these times when you are becoming successful, when you are producing things that you care about, things that, will pay off for you in some way. If it's not monetary, maybe it is emotionally, spiritually. You don't want to squander that on something that is frivolous, ultimately. I also think that this is a good time for you to be thinking about creating some kinds of rituals of, like of a votive nature, giving thanks, making an offering. And listen, I'm not talking about anything weird or obscene or, vulgar or anything like that. But, leaving some part of yourself, a little note of thanks, gratitude, putting out an orange in your windowsill, whatever it is. I mean, a bowl of water, feeding the beasts in your backyard, the birds or something, making some kind of offering, being of service, giving of yourself, okay, of your time, of your love, whatever that looks like to you. But this goes hand in hand when you are trying to do some kind of manifesting or, making more of something in your life, you know, making money or whatever, you should be giving as well. There's always a balance, right? And I'm not saying you have to give money to make money, although some people will say that, right? But giving of some part of yourself. So, you know, in my superstitious mind, if you are making money, you should be out volunteering, right? You should be doing something. So it needs to be balanced in some way. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just, like I said, superstitious. And this one I see, it looks like some kind of, it reminds me of like, like Robotron, like Transformers or Robotech or something like that. That will age me. But I really feel like it's like all of these pieces coming together. If you can envision, you know, these shows where they're like all different parts and they all come together and form into this larger entity. So, you know, I think that while all this is happening too, I do feel like you are also very much, you know, sharing the energy with people that are close to in your life, teaming up in some way. You're not somebody to leave your, you know, your loved ones behind, your people behind, and involving them in the things that you're doing. So I think that you really have this feeling of, you know, taking care of everybody. And I think that is part of what makes you so successful. We also have this, we have the candle with the illumination. You know, I think this is basically what we just talked about. This, this time of individuation, of processing, going into these internal places, doing, you know, work in your spiritual life, in your emotional life, for your mental health, right? Nothing worse, and this happens so often, I think, to people, is that you do all of this stuff to get ahead, to get your life where you want it to be. You work, and you start to be successful, gain the things that you want. But it's very lonely. It becomes very lonely, and it accentuates the parts of yourself that are unrefined. Okay. And the places where there are great hurts, trauma, you know, anxieties, all of these things, they just really become so large. And so, you know, all the stuff that you're doing, it's like you can't even really be present in it because you are bombarded with this stuff that you have not worked on. You have not resolved any of the stuff. You have not processed any of it. So it's really important to, you know, not neglect these other aspects of self. Okay. Just because you're working a lot, trying to make this money, you know, trying to build something for yourself, get your life how you want it to be, you have to do all the other tedious things. And sometimes it's that hard self-work. And here comes my cat. She is letting me know she's up and moving. Okay, so we have, it looks like a person kind of wearing a dress or maybe like a robe or something. They have their arms up. It looks like they're holding something. It almost looks like a fish or some kind of thing that they've, you know, like a, I don't know, they've been out trapping, hunting or something, and they are, you know, they've caught their bounty, basically. And I see that they're, you know, it's kind of, and it's mirrored even here with the arms up. It looks like kind of a state of excitement, of celebration, elation. I think that this is kind of the energy that we're really moving into here. And now I want to look at this. We have a flower here. Let's see, a little flower. I've been seeing a lot of the dandelion with the, the thing that you blow and it's like you make a wish, right? And I kind of see that here. So I think that, there's also just a lot of good luck happening as well. On top of all of the other things that are aligning for you, there's just that good luck. And that is, not going to say no to that, right? And I think really, I just think the big thing here is for you to really be careful about overindulging in anything. I think that because you have this kind of success happening, you're feeling, jovial, excited. There's some merriment. You're enjoying yourself, and that's wonderful. But I think you need to really be strict about limiting yourself, not overindulging, not because, you shouldn't enjoy things, but because you shouldn't be getting distracted. And I think that this is where, you run into problems a lot, is getting kind of, veering off the path that you're on. And, I think that this is just, everything is aligned in such a way that you're going to be doing great things, especially for, the next few cycles of readings, I hope. So, my hope is just really that, have a little fun, but, be a bit rigid about, keeping the nose to the grindstone right now. It's not exactly the time to go wild. All right. So I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And I say us because we here are a community and we are growing this channel one person at a time, which includes you. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video is coming out. I'm on a schedule where I read for every sign once a week. The next Leo will be out in about 7 days. So in the meantime, you can watch your other placements. You can do some cross-watching. And if you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them. I try to get back to them quickly. Sometimes it takes a day or two. But I do appreciate all of them. And, they mean a lot. They keep me wanting to do these readings because there are so many people on there that are just so sweet, so nice, so encouraging, and also so generous with sharing their own experiences. So I thank you, and we will talk again in a few days here.